Bhakta Sheva Padam Shidhi Premalotikara Mula Padam Shidhi Premalotikara Madhav Tite Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kore Krishna Bhoshati Bhoshati Bole Parama Adare Bore Godamara Jeshabashtane Korela Brahman Range Korela Brahman Range Sheshabashtan Hedibo Ami Pranaya Bhakata Shange Sheshabashtan Hedibo Ami Pranaya Bhakata Shange Mridanga Bad Shunite Mridanga Bada Shunite Mo Abashada Shada Jache Shunite Mono Abashada Shada Gauda Bihito Kirtana Shani Anande Hridoya Nache Kirtana Shani Anande Gauda Bihito Kirtana Shani Anande Hridoya Nache Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula Jugalmate Dekiyamo Parama Ananda Hoya Prashad Sheba Korite Ho Shakala Prapancha Jaya Prashad Sheba Kodite Ho Shakala Prapancha Jaya Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula যেদিন গৃহে ভজন দেখি গৃহেতে গোলক ভয়া চরণ সিধু দেখি গঙ্গা শুকন সীমা পায়া চরণ সিধু দেখিয়া গঙ্গা শুকন সীমা পায়া তুলসীতে কি জুড়ায় প্রাণ মাধব তোষানি জানি গৌর প্রিয় শাখা সেবনে জীবন সার্থক মানে শাখা সেবনে গৌর প্রিয় শাখা সেবনে জীবন সার্থক মানে শুদ্ধ ভক্ত চরণ রেণু ভজন অনুকূল ভক্তিবিনোদ কৃষ্ণ ভজনে অনুকূল পায় যাহা প্রতিদিবসে পরম সুখে স্বীকার করয় তাহা প্রতিদিবসে পরম সুখে স্বীকার করয় তাহা শুদ্ধ ভক্ত চরণ রেণু ভজন অনুকূল ভক্ত সেব পরম সিদ্ধি প্রেমলতিকার মূল পরম সিদ্ধি প্রেম রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী গোপী জন বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় Jashodanandana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Brajajana Ranjana Brajajana Ranjana Jai Brajajana Chamunatira Banachare Jai Kunja Bihare Jai Chamunatira Banachare Jai Kunja Bihare Jai Kunja Bihare Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jai Radha Madhav Jayam Vishnupad Pramhangsha Parivrajaka Acharya Ashtatara Sushamanchal Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki ISKCON, the Founder-Acharya Śrīmad Prabhupada ki Shamaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrindagi, Ananta Kori Vaishnava Vrindagi, Sisi Nitai Gaur Shitanata Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Vandeham Shri Guru Shidata Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatam Vitang Tang Shajivam Sadvaitam Shavadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Siddhartha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shibheshakang Vitangscha Mantra Guru Ajota Shika Guru Ganta Chorene Age Gori Abandon Vanshakapatu Vishnakripashan Vivachapatitanam Pavane Bhavaishna Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaudavani Bhachane Nirvishesha Shannavari Pashtata Deshtane Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Nihi asatyat paro dharma Iti hoba chabhu iyam Sarvam shodhum alamanne Rite kaparam naram Nahya asat paro dharma Iti hova chaburiyam Sarvam shodhum alamanne Rite kaparam naram. Please chant. Mothers? Asatyat paro dharma iti vachaburiyam. Na, not he, indeed, asatyat. Then compulsion to untruthfulness. Paraha, more. Adharmaha, irreligion. Iti, thus. Ha uvacha, indeed had spoken. Bhu, Mother Earth. Iyam, this. Sharvam, everything. Shodhum, to bear. Alam, I am able. Manye, although I think. Rite, except. Alikaparam, most heinous liar. Naram, human being. Translation, there is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Because of this, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except a person who is a liar. Translation responsibly. There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Because of this, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except a person who is a liar. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. On the purpose of the earth, there are many, on the surface of the earth, there are many great mountains and oceans that are very heavy, and Mother Earth has no difficulty carrying them. But she feels very much overburdened when she carries even one person who is a liar. It is said that in Kali Yuga, lying is a common affair. Mayaiva Vyavaharike, Bhagavatam 12.2.3. Even in the most common dealings, people are accustomed to speaking many lies. No one is free from the sinful reaction of speaking lies. Under the circumstances, one can just imagine how this has overburdened the earth and indeed the entire universe. Mokam karadi vachalam pangam langate girim tat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinadaninam. Bali Maharaj espousing principles of morality here being described. There's a bit of a conflict there in practice of devotional service and this issue. There are instances where Krishna induced the devotees to lie on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Dronacharya was causing such havoc in the army of the Kuru and the army of the Pandavas. They couldn't stop him. And so Krishna, he made the plan that if his son Ashvatthama was killed, then he would lose all enthusiasm to carry on with the fight. So he requested Yudhishthira Maharaj to announce that Ashvatthama had been killed. Why Yudhishthira Maharaj? Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, Dharmaraj. And he particularly was known, but he never told a lie in his whole life. So if Yudhishthira said it, then Drona would become convinced and he would lose all enthusiasm to fight. This is Krishna's plan. Now Yudhishthira was hesitant to lie, actually. Yudhishthira was hesitant to lie. There's a bit of a conflict here. What's more important, a morality or satisfying Krishna? So Bhima, he killed an elephant. That was called Ashvatthama. Bhima called out, Ashvatthama is dead. And Drona, he heard this, but he wasn't convinced. So then he went to Yudhishthira. And he wanted clarification. So Yudhishthira said, Ashvatthama is dead. And then under his breath, so that Drona couldn't hear, he said, the elephant. So, but actually, simply being truthful, without practicing Krishna consciousness is not much useful. According to Narad Muni, he explains when he's preaching to Vyas that Kalvarta aptam abhajitam swadharma. Ko varta abdam, what is the gain? Ko varta abdam, what do you get? Abhajatam swadharma. Even perfectly performing your morality and prescribed duties, swadharma, perfectly performing that, abhajatam, without worshipping Krishna, without chanting Hare Krishna. Ko varta abdam, what's the use of that? Actually, Bhagavatam also explains that morality and these principles are useful in order to qualify us or make us eligible for actually practicing Bhagavad Bhakti. And when you come to the platform of Bhagavad Bhakti, these principles, although they're important, we'll discuss why they're important, but they're no longer as essential as they are for a person who's not performing Bhagavad Bhakti. Bhagavatam explains that Krishna, was that Srimvitam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Punya Shravana Kirtana, that all the results you get from morality, from dharma, from performing your duty, you get that automatically by hearing and chanting. It's included, Punya Shravana Kirtana, you get all that by hearing and chanting. Also in Gita, the concluding verse, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partha Danodaraha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvar Niti Matiramama. Sanjaya is concluding in response to Dhritarashtra's question in the beginning of Gita, Kim Akurvata, Sanjaya, what did they do? Having assembled, and the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken. And then he concludes that Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, wherever there is the supreme mystic, master of all mysticism, Krishna, Yatra Partha Danodaraha, and the great bowman Arjuna, Tatra, there, Sri Bijayo Bhuti, there is Sri, there is opulence, Bijay, there is victory, Bhuti, there is great power, Dhruva, and certainly Dhruva Nitir, Mami Mama, there is all morality, wherever Krishna is present. So in Krishna consciousness, the highest morality, Prabhupada sometimes uses the word mundane moralists, or mundane morality. But actually the highest morality is to surrender to Krishna and to follow Krishna's order. That's the highest morality. And that's concluded in Bhagavad Gita when Krishna asks Arjuna, Kachchit etat shrutam partha tva ekagrena chetasaha. Hey Arjuna, Kachchit etat shrutam partha. Have you heard this? Tva ekagrena chetasaha, with ekagrita cheta, with attention. Kachchit ogyana shamaha pranasyaste dhananjaya. Kachchit, where is your kachchit ogyana samaha pranastaste dana, your agyan, your ignorance, and samaha, your bewilderment, pranastaste dhananjaya, have they been destroyed? Pranastaste dhananjaya, have they been destroyed as a result of attentively hearing what I spoke? And Arjuna responds that nashtamoha, my bewilderment is destroyed, shmriti labda, I've regained my memory, tvat prasadat maya achuta, by your mercy, O infallible one. Shtito ajmi gatashandeha, shtito ajmi, I am firm, gatashandeha, all of the doubts have gone away, karishe bachanam tava. And I am prepared to do what you order. So he's not saying, now I'm prepared to do morality, I'm prepared to act morally, I'm prepared to do my dharma. No, the highest conclusion is to bring the student to the point of karishe, I will do vachanam tava, what you say. I will do whatever Krishna says, and following whatever Krishna says is the highest morality. In the Bhagavatam, in the first canto, there's the incident there where Vidura, he comes and preaches to Dhritarashtra in order to reclaim him. Vidura had some affection for Dhritarashtra, and he was happily residing in the palace, even though all of his sons had been killed by Bhima. He was happily residing in the palace, and Yudhishthira was referring to him as the king. And seeing this embarrassing situation, Vidura, having returned from his pilgrimage, he avoided the whole battle of Kurukshetra, Vidura, and then he returned. Actually, what he did, Vidura is described in 3rd and 4th cantos, the Vidura and Maitreya Samvad, completely described in 3rd and 4th cantos of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. That's the discussion that he had when he was on tour during the battle of Kurukshetra. So he returned to Hastinapur and he saw Dhritarashtra in this condition, and he preached to him, very powerful. Prabhupada describes Mahatma Vidura. His powerful preaching convinced Dhritarashtra to actually give up his entanglement in the palace and household life, and he went with Gandhari to the northern regions, and he gave up his body. He became a Dhira as a result of the association of Vidura. So Yudhisthira in the morning, his practice was to come and pay respects to the king every morning, touch his feet, show him honor. He came to Yudhisthira's rooms, Yudhisthira's quarters. Where's Yudhisthira? He's not there. Gandhari there. Oh, sorry, yeah, thank you. Dhritarashtra. Yeah, where's Dhritarashtra? You're not there. Sanjaya. And then Yudhisthira is asking, where is Dhritarashtra? And Sanjaya, he says, he's cheated me. He's cheated me. It's that chapter 14. And then in the purport, Prabhupada makes some interesting statements. Prabhupada says that great souls, that they can cheat. Great souls can cheat. And he says that I also cheated my family members. And in order to be able to take up this mission of compiling Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and he says it was a great transcendental fraud, and that everyone benefited by the action. So surrendering to Krishna and fulfilling the desire of Krishna, fulfilling the order of his spiritual master to propagate Gaudavani in English language, that's much higher than the mundane morality of the material world. And in the purport to that particular verse, Prabhupada also gives a couple of examples of other instances where this conclusion is shown. He gives the example of Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada, who actually lied to get himself out of the prison. You can visit the place in Malda. It's not far from Mayapur. You can take a train, 6 hours, and you can see all the remnants of the Nawab Hussain Shah's palace and the jail where Sanatana Goswami was kept. It's an interesting prikrama. So he was in the jail. We were hearing about Rupa Goswami, who divided his wealth into 4. And 1/4 of it was kept for personal emergencies. So actually Rupa Goswami, having himself extricated himself from the Nawab's service and gone to Prayag in pursuit of going to Vrindavan with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu had already come back, left Vrindavan, they met in Prayag. And so Rupa Goswami, he sent that money, and he sent a letter to Sanatana Goswami to get yourself, somehow or other get yourself out of jail and come to Vrindavan. So Sanatana Goswami, he called the jail keeper, he had that money. And he placed 5,000 gold coins. That's a lot of money. We hear a little later that the innkeeper was prepared to kill Sanatana Goswami for 7 gold coins. So 5,000 gold coins, that's a lot of money. He placed that in front of the jail keeper. And Sanatana Goswami explained that, you know, that if you assist a person in their path to liberation, you get so much credit. So I'm giving you an opportunity here to get both types of credit, because you can assist me in my path of liberation, and also I'll give you 5,000 gold coins. So the jail keeper was tempted. He was tempted, seeing the money. But he said, no. What will happen when the Nawab returns from the south and sees you not here, then he's going to cut my head off. And Sanatana Goswami said, you tell the Nawab this. He said, you tell the Nawab that Sanatan went to the banks of the Ganga to evacuate with his chains on. And he saw the Ganga and he jumped in, and because he had the chains on, he drowned. And I looked for a long time to try to reclaim his body, but I was unable to, and this way he's gone. And so, and he said that Sanatana Goswami, so that's not true actually, but he told the jailkeeper to say that. And he said that there'll be no anxiety because I won't hang around here in Bengal. I will go away to a foreign country. In fact, he said, I'll go to Mecca. He said, I'll go to Mecca. Well, this is not true. He had no plan to do that. But in order to fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's a much higher principle. So these things, this is required in order to convince the jail keeper. He said, you're a great pious person and knower of all the scriptures like the Quran, etc., and glorified him. And then the jail keeper was almost convinced, and then he placed another 2,000 gold coins, and then he was convinced, so he let him free, and Sanatana Goswami was able to travel, and he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. The other example that Prabhupada gives in the purport is Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami, when Gaushundar was returning from Ramkeli, actually having reclaimed Rupa and Sanatan, and he stopped at Shantipur. He stopped at Shantipur on the way, and he stopped at Shantipur on the return journey also. And Sachi Devi came for the second time and got association of Mahaprabhu again in Shantipur. Now at that time, the father and the uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami, Govardhan Majumdar and Haranya Majumdar, they were so wealthy. In fact, it mentions that all the Brahmins in Bengal were supported by Govardhan and Haranya Majumdar. And they were very dear to Advaita Acharya, who was also, they were also supporting the Advaita Acharya. It's not far away, all of these places, Shaptagram and Raghunath Das's house and Shantipur, they're all in the area there, you can visit. So Raghunath Das was young, and he spent a week serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got opportunity to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur by mercy of Advaita Acharya Thakur, who was very pleased with his father and uncle. So after that 1 week, spending that 1 week with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Das, he was just completely overwhelmed with the burning desire to go to and associate. Mahaprabhu would return to Puri. I was on the way back to go to Jagannath Puri and just engage himself in the service and remain in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's described that every night he would run away as a daily occurrence. Every night he would try and run away from home, every day. And Govardhan Majumdar had 10 security. He had 10 guys on security just to try to keep him at home. And every night they would have to go into the forest and chase him and find him and bring him back. And even Govardhan, his wife said, let's tie him up. Let's tie him up with ropes. And Govardhan Majumdar said, what's the use of that? That his wife is as beautiful as a heavenly Apsara, and he has wealth like that of King Indra. If those things cannot bind him, what will ropes do? He's become a madman of Chaitanya. What will mere ropes do? So anyway, Mahaprabhu, he gave him interesting instruction to not to become a monkey bairagi and show and this external display of renunciation, but rather you should enjoy the world in an appropriate way and internally cultivate your attachment to Krishna. And so he was doing that, and then they kind of after for 1 year, and then they reduced the security, the security on him. And then at that time he heard that Nityananda Prabhu had come to Panihati Dham. So Nityananda Prabhu, he's the deliverer of Bengal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was obligated due to the request of Sachi Devi to remain in Jagannath Puri. And every year the devotees from Bengal, they would travel from Navadip, Gaudadesh to Nilachal, Jagannath Puri in order to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and join him in Ratha Yatra, and they would stay for the 4 months every year. Now one time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he called Nityananda in a private place. Nityanande agyadilo jao gaudadeshe anargal prema bhakti kodaho prakashe. Nityanande agyadilo, he ordered Nityananda, jao gaudadeshe, you go to Bengal, anargal prema bhakti kodaho prakashe, and without limit, you distribute prema bhakti all through Bengal. So Bengal was delivered by Nityananda Prabhu, and still in Bengal you'll see the presence of Nityananda Prabhu's preaching, the effect of that, and attachment to Gaunitai in Bengal, and in East Bengal particularly. He wandered all through Bengal preaching. It's described in great detail in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. There's one chapter there, the glories of Nityananda Prabhu, 700 verses. He goes on and on. Vrindavan Das Thakur, a disciple of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda had come with his Dwadasha Gopa, his 12 for the cowherd boys of Vrindavan, who were his intimate associates with whom he travelled and preached. He'd come to Panihati Dham. And Raghunath Das heard about that, so he went there and he saw him. The devotee said, oh, Raghunath has come. He was, Raghunath Das was like a prominent person in the society. He was prince, he was extremely wealthy, multi-millionaire. His fathers and uncle, they had so much wealth, and he was the only heir to their estate. So he was so wealthy. So when he came, it was a big thing. And Nityananda Prabhu's servants, they said, Raghunath has come. And Nityananda Prabhu saying to him, oh, the thief has come. The thief has come. The thief. Because, what's that? Why the thief? Because he was trying, every night he was escaping, he was trying to get the shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without going through Nityananda. So the opportunity has come, and Nityananda Prabhu said, now I'm going to punish you. You make a festival for my associates, Chira Dohi. Chira Dohi. That's chip rice, which is soaked and then flattened. That's called chira, and dohi is yogurt. So you make a chip. Why chira dohi? That was pleasing to Lord Nityananda and his associates. So he sent his, Raghunath Das, he sent his servants to all the nearby markets, and they got all the chira dohi and all the other ingredients, the camphor, the sugar, the ghee, the bananas, and all of those ingredients from wherever it was available. They bought it. It's a beautiful description. Panihati Mahotsava. On occasion we visited Panihati at that time. It's very ecstatic. The whole area is blocked off. You can't move. So many thousands of people are there. We have our ISKCON temple just near this place, right there, just next door. We have our ISKCON property developing nicely. So you can visit sometime if you're in just before Rath Yatra, actually, Panihati Mahamotsav. So the pots were there, all the Vaishnavas came, all the local Brahmins, they came, and other heard there was a feast, other Brahmins came. And there were so many people that some Brahmins were on the pedestal under the tree with Lord Nityananda, some were sitting under that, some were sitting on the banks of the Ganga, some were even in the water, eating their soaked chip rice and dahi. Now that's very interesting. Somewhere in the water. How is that? Very interesting. Andantarashta paramanu jayantarashtam. Because Andantarashta, the whole universe is within him. Andantarashta paramanu jayantarashtam. And he's within the atom. So the Lord Nityananda, there's no question of him not being able to control time and space. If he wants the Lila Shtan to expand, he can expand it. But there was not enough room. Why is that? Because actually in the Ganga, eating the chip rice, that increases the ananda. So it's the Anandamoy Utsav, in order to give pleasure to Lord Nityananda. This is Lord Nityananda's punishment, was actually giving Raghunath Das Goswami an opportunity to do Bhakata Sheva. We just sang the song, Bhakata Sheva Paramashidhi. The highest perfection is serving the devotees. Bhakata Sheva Paramashidhi. Prema Loti Kamul. It is the root of the prema lota, the creeper of love of Godhead. So the devotees came and they're all eating the chip rice. Nityananda Prabhu was in ecstasy. Mahaprabhu himself came in a ethereal form, and together Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu were enjoying that. Nityananda Prabhu was so pleased. He explained that Gopa Jati Yami Bohut Gopagon Shonge Amra Shuki Paye Pulin Bojan Ronge. Gopa Jati Yami, Gopa Jati, I'm a cowherd boy, Gopa Jati Yami, Bahut Gopagon Shonge, and I'm accompanied by so many other cowherd boys, Amra Shuk Paye Pulin Bojan Ronge, and we enjoy having a picnic on the banks of the river, in a Vrindavan mood. So in this way, Raghunath Das Goswami, he was able to fulfill serve the mood, the bhav of Nityananda as a cowherd boy, with all his associates, having a picnic on the bank of the Jamuna, there on the banks of Ganga and Panihati Dam. And in this way, he satisfied him. And then the next morning, Nityananda Prabhu was there again, sitting under the tree, and Raghunath Das came and fell at his lotus feet. And he said, all of your entanglement, all of the bondage that you were facing is now, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here and was satisfied him, and you satisfied his devotees. So all of that bondage is removed. So Raghunath Das he actually gave donation. He went with Raghav Pandit and got a list of all the devotees, how much Lakshmi he would give each devotee according to their odhikar. And then he returned to his home. It's not far away from Panihati Shaptagram, where Raghunath Das was residing, near Shaptagram. We visited that place. It's a nice place you can visit. And also nearby the house of Raghunath Das Goswami is the house of his Kula Guru, family priest, whose name was Acharya. Now, Acharya, he was not just an ordinary priest. Actually, it mentions that he was disciple of Advaita Thakur, an Antaranga Shishya a confidential disciple of Advaita Thakur, and also Vasudev Datta Anugrihito. He was a recipient of the mercy of Vasudev Datta. So Yadunandan Acharya, he was not just an ordinary priest, he was a Vaishnava, exalted Vaishnava. And he came to Raghunath Das and he said, we have a problem, the Pujari is not coming to worship the deity. Raghunath Das Goswami, he was such a person that he could solve all such problems, such an influential person. So the Yadunandan Acharya came, Raghunath Das, there's no one there to serve the deity. And you come with me, Yadunandan Acharya, he said, you come with me and you induce him to take up the service again. And Raghunath Das agreed for the order of his guru. So they're going together toward the house of Yadunandan Acharya, and then they're going. And then, as they were walking together, Raghunath Das is saying that all of the guards are sleeping and that there's no security detail, and this is my chance. This is my chance. So he said, Raghunath Das said to Yadunandan Acharya, he said, you go home. He said, don't be in any anxiety. I will induce that Brahmin to take up the service and you can go home now. It was middle of the night. And so Yadunandan Acharya, he went home. But Lord Raghunath Das, actually that was a lie. He wasn't doing that. He was getting Yadunandan Acharya out of the way, and then he just kept walking. He didn't go and see the Brahmin, he just kept walking, and after eventually he made it to Jagannath Puri. He didn't travel with the devotees. At that time the devotees from Bengal were also traveling and they were doing annually, traveling to Puri. And when in the morning they saw Raghunath Das is not there, there was such a tumultuous despair. All of the relatives of Raghunath Das, and they were, Raghunath is gone. And so immediately his father, Govardhan Majumdar, he sent a messenger, he sent the security dispatch, actually, detail to Sivananda Sain, who was traveling with all the devotees. I want my son, bring him back. Please release my son. And Sivananda Sain replied, he's not with us. We haven't seen Raghunath. So he was going incognito through the jungle path all the way to Puri. And he reached Jagannath Puri. Shrarupe Raghu, he was given shelter of Swarup Damodar Goswami, Mahaprabhu's secretary, a sannyasi, and he was trained in renunciation, and he became, Raghunath Das Goswami became such a exemplary Vaishnava, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and he manifested such renunciation which gave such pleasure to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu Bhakta Ganer Bhairagya Pradhan Jaha Deki Prita Hoy Gaud Bhagavan. Mahaprabhu Bhakta Ganer Bhairagya Pradhan. Renunciation is the very essence of the life of the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaha Deki Prita Hoy. Seeing that renunciation, Prita Hoy, Mahaprabhu becomes pleased, Gaud Bhagavan. So in this way, Raghunath Das Goswami, he was able to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri and give him so much pleasure. But in order to extricate himself, he manipulated the truth. Now, manipulating the truth, also it's interesting. Nityananda Prabhu was also accused as being a liar by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, having taken sannyas, was wandering in Radha Desh, accompanied by at that time with 3 associates, Nityananda Prabhu and Acharya Ratna and Mukunda Datta. But they weren't exactly with Mahaprabhu because he was in such a state of prema that he didn't even know where he was going or what he was doing, whether it was night or day. He wasn't even eating. Kaviraj Goswami says 3 days, Vrindavan Das Thakur says 12 days. He was just wandering around. Having accepted sannyas, looking for Vrindavan. Besh koile, be Vrindavan giya, Krishna nishebon kori nibrite boshia. Besh koile, having accepted this dress, be Vrindavan giya. I will go to Vrindavan, Krishna nishebon kori, and worship Lord Krishna, nibrite boshia, in a secluded place. That was Mahaprabhu's desire, and he was wandering around like a madman. And then Nityananda Prabhu, he came in front of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu sees him and says, oh, where are you going? Abadut Goshai, Kotai Jaha, where are you going? He says, and Nityananda Prabhu says, Tomar Shonge Jai Vrindavan. I'm going to Vrindavan with you. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, ultimately it's true. Right? I'm going to Vrindavan with you. So he's speaking in such a way that he's not exactly lying, but Mahaprabhu is thinking something else. But he's not exactly saying that. I'm going to Vrindavan with you. Then I go, how far is Vrindavan? How far is Vrindavan? Mahaprabhu inquires. And he doesn't exactly answer that question directly. He says, just look, here is the Jamuna. So he's speaking in such a way that Mahaprabhu is thinking it means something else. But he's not exactly lying, but... So Mahaprabhu, he went and jumped into he offered prayers that Jamuna, to Jamuna Devi, and then took his bath. And just before that, Nityananda Prabhu had instructed Acharya Ratna to first of all go to Navadip and tell Sachi Devi and all the devotees to get prepared and come to Shantipur. I'm bringing Gaushundor to Shantipur. And then go to Shantipur and tell Advaita Acharya to get ready to receive Mahaprabhu. Because it was too much. Mahaprabhu suddenly, Ore by Shunu Shunu Ore by Prabhu Shanyash Jai Kota Shunile Sharva Bandanash. Mahaprabhu's sannyas is very glorious. Shunu Shunu Ore by, listen to Mahaprabhu's sannyas. Jai Kota Shunile Sharva Bandanash. Just by hearing the description of Mahaprabhu's sannyas, all of your entanglement in this world is destroyed. Mahaprabhu, he suddenly took sannyas. He didn't, it's not like a sannyas minister. It takes a long time. It wasn't on the waiting list. It wasn't on the waiting list. Everybody knows, by the time we asked the candidate, say, when's your sannyas? No, it takes years. When's your sannyas? We all know. That's the idea, that in case anyone has a complaint. So it's very public before you take sannyas. Suddenly, just a few people, Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, the medicine of Pipalakanda is having the opposite effect. We won't go into all the detail, but Mahaprabhu was there chanting Gopi Gopi. And the students came and he instructed him, chant the name of Krishna. And when Mahaprabhu heard the name Krishna, he became angry and started chasing that student. And so they were he complained to the other Navadip student Samaj, and they said, well, who does he think he is? We're all studying together. If he does something like that again, we'll beat him. So Mahaprabhu, he said, yeah, well, you know, the medicine, Pipalakanda, is meant to reduce bile, is having the opposite effect. Actually, I'm sending, you know, they're going to hell. So let me take sannyas. What is that? Sannyas. Sannyas. Yeah, let me take sannyas. More deke shaidori be charan. Ei mote udhare bu shakal bhuvan. More deke shaidori be charan. Because anyone who sees a sannyasi, more deke shaidori be charan, they will fall down and hold my feet. Even that culture is still very prevalent in Bengal. What to speak of 500 years ago. So Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas in order to reclaim those classes who were not favorable, who were not taking advantage of him, his association in Navadip when he was performing the Shankirtan Leela. Therefore accepted sannyas to deliver the whole world. Deliver all of India, deliver all of Bengal, deliver the whole world. So then Mahaprabhu, he's taking bath in the Ganga, and then Advaita Acharya, he came in a boat with a fresh cloth, a dry cloth. Mahaprabhu was wearing his sannyas. That's all he had. He jumped into the Jamuna, he was taking bath. What he was wearing, that's all the possessions he had. Nothing, no even key, no room, nothing, shoulder bag, nothing, no other cloth. All he had, that's sannyas. Avayam shatra shangshuti jnana yoga vivashtiti. Adyushanashi. And he asks Advaita Thakur, how did you know I was coming to Vrindavan? Advaita Thakur, Tumi jaha shei Vrindavan. Wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. And Nityananda, he lied. No, he didn't lie. Because the Jamuna is also flowing here on the western bank, the other side of the Ganga, and the Jamuna is flowing. So higher principle, this Bhakta Sheva, Nityananda Prabhu, out of care, devotee care for the Navadip Bashis, give them an opportunity at least to have some association with Mahaprabhu before taking sannyas. And when Sachi Devi arrived, she said, you know, don't do like Vishwarup. First thing she said. Yeah, after taking sannyas. And in Shantipur, Sachi Devi came. First thing she said, don't do like Vishwarup, who took sannyas and never gave us, and we never heard anything again from him. So for that reason, Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, where the devotees, Tomrasha Paro Gamon Agamon, Gangashnaneo Habitara Gamon. You can all come and go, and he also may return and take bath in the Ganga. So in this way, Mahaprabhu, he accepted the request of Sachidevi and remained in Jagannath Puri. But those 10 days, and every day was festival, Vaishnav Shammelan. And Advaita Thakur, he hosted all of the Navadip devotees. Everybody came, everybody, except Vishnupriya. And also all of the Shantipur residents, there was thousands of people, all accommodated by Advaita Thakur. And those kirtans, there was kirtan at night. Kirtan, Kodite, Prabhu, Sharva, Bhab, Udoy, Shtamba, Kampa, Pulakasru, Gadgara, Pralay. He demonstrated such symptoms in those kirtans. Kirtan, Kodite, Sharva, Bhab, Udoy. All of the symptoms of love of God erupted in his body during those kirtans. Stamba, he became stunned like a pillar. Kampa, quivering. Pulakasru, his hair standing on end like a ripened jackfruit. Gadgadai became choked up. Pralay, devastation in the kirtan. There was one, Prabhupada was, a little bit of Prabhupada Leela. Prabhupada was staying in the Bowery, and he was having difficulty. I think the person's name was Paul, and he was a bit crazy, and Prabhupada was staying in an apartment with this hippie. And he was like mad as an effect of intoxication, and he was cursing Prabhupada. And so Prabhupada came to the devotees and said, you know, can you kindly do something about this, find a place. So Mukunda, that time Michael, Mukunda Goswami, he was looking in the newspaper for a place available, and he saw 26 Second Avenue. So he rang the landlord, Mr. Gardiner, and then they arranged a meeting, 9 o'clock in the morning, outside 26 Second Avenue. And Mukunda was there, Mr. Gardiner came, and he had his big set of keys. He was a landlord, many places he was looking after. And he was asking about the proprietor, Swamiji. He was telling him, well, he's from India, he's a scholar, he wrote books, he gave the books to the president of India. And he's coming now, that's Carl. Carl also, he's a graduate from Ivy League in philosophy. You know, it's like, Mukunda is explaining the qualifications of Srila Prabhupada. He's going to have yoga class, some chanting, and some class on the scripture, and 3 nights a week. And Prabhupada came. And Carl, who was accompanying Prabhupada, he was carrying a set of Prabhupada's trilogy, first canto Bhagavatam, with him. And so then they said, we'll take a look at the place. So the landlord opened, Mr. Gardiner opened the door, 26 7th Avenue, and they're looking inside. And Mukunda, he says, so how much is the rent? And Mr. Gardiner says, $100 a month. And then Prabhupada says that Mr. Michael and Mr. Carl, they are our society members, and they pay $21 a month, membership. And Mukunda's wondering, what? I'm not a member, I never paid any $21 a month. And then he realized this is Prabhupada's business strategy. You can also become a member. You won't have to pay the first month's membership fee. And you can become a member, paying $20 a month. He gave him the books. He said to Carl, give him the books. Mr. Gardiner's got the books. He's looking, he says, these are very impressive books. I mean, the weight of Prabhupada's books, personally distributed by Prabhupada, had an effect on him. And Prabhupada said, so we'll take it for $79 a month. And then he said, well, actually, we have another apartment behind, and I want to take a look at that. So they said, yeah. So then he went to open the back door and went up the courtyard, and then they saw the apartment, and that was $85 a month. And then they worked it out, so $164 a month. And so they took the place, and then Prabhupada established his first center in New York, with a little bit of truth bending there also in order to achieve the higher purpose. So there's a few examples. So that's the principle, but we don't take advantage of it. In general, a devotee is truthful. I mean, in Param Tattva, we're preaching Krishna consciousness, that's the highest truth. But in general, devotees are truthful. But the people, it's important to the common people. Yad yad acharati shrestha, tattadeve tara sayat pramanam kurte lokastara navartaya. That yad yad acharati shrestha, that the Acharya, the behavior of the influential people in society, and we're in a religious movement, people expect ideal behavior from us. So the way we drive, the way we park, what we do with our rubbish, the way we deal with our kids and family, all of the way we clean our garden, all of these things, this is noticed by the people in general, and also truthfulness is important to them. So we should, sayat pramanam, if we're neglecting these things unnecessarily or for our own sense gratification, then on the basis of that evidence, sayat pramanam lokastara navartate, all the people will cite that as an example. The Hare Krishnas lie all the time, so we can lie. So we should be truthful as to the best of our capacity in general dealings. And we looked at a few circumstances where that principle is not as important as the principle of surrendering to Krishna. Based on the statements of Bali Maharaj that we're hearing today in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So are there any questions on today's topics? Well, that's wonderful. Satyam Param Dhimahi. That's in the first verse of the Bhagavatam. Satyam Param, the highest truth. Meditation, Satyam Param Dhimahi, the highest truth. And then the next verse also, the next verse says, what's that? The Dharma Projita Kaitava Atra Parama. Dharma Projita, the cheating religions, Dharma Projita Kaitava Dharma is Projita, is completely rejected in the Bhagavatam. Atra Param Dharma, and the highest truth is propounded here. So the highest truth is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and the mission of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam.
There was a Brahmin there. You know that example of where the Brahmin was the sage was sitting there and the people ran by him seeking shelter from the dacoits who were chasing him.
Mandaka Muni, was it? Mandaka Muni?
Yeah.
And he told the truth? Right?
I think Mandaka Muni was the one who pierced the ant with the...
Yeah. So that's the story, is it? Or is it a different one?
There was one sage who was sitting there and people of the villages were running from the dacoits who were trying to rob and kill them. So they ran past. And the dacoits came up to the sage and said, which way did they go? And he pointed out the actual way they went. So the thieves and the dacoits, they caught up with the people and killed them, stole all their money. So they went to hell, and the sage went to hell with them for telling the truth.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Very conclusive. Anything else this morning? Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.